Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Um, got my tea. Drinking green tea this morning. Thank you guys for joining me today. As you can see, I'm in a different room. My husband and I are sharing an office, and because obviously everybody's confined to home. And good morning, Karen. And so he had a meeting this morning. We share an office. He had a meeting this morning, and I was going to go outside and sit in the yard and have my tea, but it's freezing outside. So um, I'm in the family or the living room right now. Um, so I apologize. You might see my dog try to hop up on the sofa with me. You might see a kid walking through. If if that's the case, I apologize in advance. Because we're home. But anyway, um, like always, we start our day with a morning prayer, and I'm just going to do the Lord's Prayer this morning. And then we'll go through our announcements, and then we'll talk about the topic of the day. So let's go ahead with the morning prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So, yes, that is life, Karen. You're so right. It's just been it's crazy, and I'm seeing so many or hearing so many things and seeing so many things about people and people losing loved ones, and this pandemic is just so crazy. And then I'm hearing like all these different conspiracy theories, and I don't know what to I don't know where we are with this stuff. It's downright depressing, to be completely honest. And I'm just happy to be able to, be healthy, and my kids are healthy, and everybody's healthy here. And I just hope, we can get through this without a scratch, our families, because there's so many people who are are not making it, and it's really, really sad. Um, yeah, it's so sad. So I guess the one thing I want to say is, you know, listen to what the medical professionals and the scientists and the government, you know, listen to what these people are saying, because I mean, this thing is real. It is so real. It is so real. And I don't know. I'm in this place today where I'm just so sad, you know. Karen, you say we have to focus on the things that we do know and what we can control. Yes, we do. We do. Those things that we can control, and the things that we can control are, social distancing, and, making sure that, we're following the correct precautions as far as just, washing our hands, and, just staying put. Because what I hear, I was watching something yesterday, it might have been CNN, I think. What I hear is that social distancing is working. Um, they're um, but we got to continue to do that so that we can get back to our normal lives. And what I also heard, and I don't want to misquote the news, but I think I saw yesterday that, is it Italy is starting to go back to normal, somewhat normalcy. They're kind of opening things back up again. So, I'm hoping that's the case in the near future for us as well. So I want to talk about, well, before we get to the topic of the day, I want to share this little gadget thing that I've got that I thought would be kind of interesting. I always try to share new things that I come across. So hold on, I'm going to put my tea down for a second. Those of you who are, who do work in an office or, um, desk job, you're not really out in the field. This is kind of a cool little thing. It's called a bamboo pad folio. Okay, and you just have it comes with a notebook, but I've had it for a while, so I just have like a regular notebook inside of it, and it has this really cool special pen to it. Okay, so when you write things down, you can attach it to your cell phone, and your notes go right into your cell phone, and your written notes, and then you can convert them. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard, but you can probably see that. So as I write things, it has a live version, and there's a little button that you press on this notepad. I guess it's attached to this pen. And as you're writing your notes, it goes right into your, Android or your iPhone or your iPad or whatever. So you don't have to. What for me, what was happening because of the field that I'm in, and especially back when I was underwriting, um, I used a lot of notebooks, tons of notebooks, and I needed to save my notes, because I needed to refer back to them. And so I was thinking to myself, how the and I had like these piles and piles of notebooks with all my notes in it because I'm a paper girl. So I love to write, and I have to write. So it was like, how can I store these things and save space, because my file cabinets were getting, filled up with these all these notebooks that I had. So I purchased this little gadget. It's called the Bamboo Pad Folio. I got mine a while ago, and I just started using it again because my pen broke. So I hadn't used it in about a year. But I got a new pen finally, and it's really cool. So you can throw your pages away, and they're stored. You got to have good storage on your phone, but um, you just put them in there, and you got everything. It's a nice little library for you, and um, it's good. You can, merge things together. I mean, it's just really, really a cool thing. And I got a new cell phone yesterday, because, with everything going on, and, people are losing money left and right, myself included, because of this crisis. Um, I needed to consolidate bills. So, we all got on a family plan, and, we're able to save some money. But um, I got this new phone as a result of it, the iPhone 11, and it's pretty cool, but I'm still learning how to use it. Um, anyway, so I wanted to share that these things are like, I think like maybe $100 I paid for it, maybe 80. This is one of the lesser expensive ones. They have some really, really neat, gadgets. It's by Wacom, WACOM, and it's really cool. So if you have a use for something like this, it is pretty much a cool tool. But anyway, because I'm in my living room and I don't have really space to write or anything, so I'm going to be looking at my phone to kind of go through my notes. So um, as far as announcements are concerned, like always, I'm having, my classes. I did cancel the effective communication class because it is a paid class, and I didn't have anybody sign up for it. It was supposed to start tomorrow. So that class is canceled due to lack of registrations. I am still having or planning to have the time management class on the 16th and the 23rd, providing that, I have people sign up for it. TCE members do get a discount, And that's really all I had for April going on right now. So, Karen, if you have anything that is happening this month in April that you want to share with the group, any announcements, anything cool that's kind of happening in your world, that would be beneficial to the people who listen in on the live, please go ahead and put it into the chat box there, and so people can get it. I know. Did I see something online that you announced recently? I can't remember. For some reason, I feel like I saw something. But anyway, if you have something cool going on or something that you want to make the listeners aware of, please go ahead and put it in the chat box. What I noticed is that I have generally you and Monica who jump on with me every morning, but most of our audiences actually listen in on the replay. So, and we get quite a few people who who look in on us. So, if you have something, please share it. Um, all right. Today's topic is going to be motivation um, and reflection. You know, and then we'll probably touch even a little bit on just staying productive during this time. I just think it's important. I know we sort of touched on um, some of these topics maybe in some other lives, but I just kind of feel like it's important to talk about this stuff, especially just in light of what's going on. I've been since I've been having this live. um, People have been reaching out to me, um, just personally offline, and talking to me about, some of the things that are going on with them, and, what motivates them, what demotivates them, and, making some changes in their lives. Um, and that's good, so that's kind of what made me think about having the discussion today about reflection, because in times like this, really, um, we we don't have anything else to do except for reflect. So it's a good time to do that, and as a result of that, there probably will people will be making some life changing um, there will be some life changing things that happen in people's lives, as a result of this pandemic. So as I've said before, it's really easy to lose sight of, goals and tasks that we're trying to do, because we just fall into this state of depression, and um, it's it can really be a tough thing for people. It really can. I had a friend who reached out to me recently and just said that, she was just having a really difficult time, just being motivated, just to, normally a very, very productive person, right? But just no energy, and not knowing what to do, and not wanting to do anything. I was talking to my husband yesterday, and we were talking about just, depression, and just uh, our lives are just, there's a new normal right now. And one of the things for me, and the reason why I do this live every morning, is because, my daily routine, my family would leave the house and go to school, go to work, and I'd be home. And then, I'd come downstairs, I clean up the kitchen, tidy up the kitchen, just tidy up the house in general. And then I'd grab my tea, and then I'd go upstairs into my office, and start my day's work. And nobody home. I made the bed every day, all that. It just, had my own little routine happening here. And now that the kids and my husband are home, everybody's, by the time when I get up in the morning, everybody else is still sleeping. So for me, I'm like, well, hell, I don't, you know, I want to sleep too. You know what I mean? So it already it made me like sluggish and, okay, let me just, mosey my way up, when I can or when I feel like it, so I started to feel myself not be as productive as I would have been if I didn't have, everybody at home. And and then I also started gaining weight. I went to the doctor the other day and I put on 10 pounds. 10 pounds. How long? I think we've been in this thing for what, 37 days? And I put on 10 pounds. Um, so that's not good. And so that's why I started walking. I was like, okay, I'm going to get up every morning and I'm going to go for a walk. Um, I'm going to do this live because, I have to interact with people and I don't have the opportunity to do that. So I need to kind of get my day moving. So that's why, Karen, I appreciate you jumping on every morning, because at least I have one person to talk to. So thank you, and thank you for participating. So I do these things just to kind of keep myself going. Now, excuse me, I am still working, thank God, but there have been some significant changes. Uh, not just in my personal business, but as you guys know, I also have a full-time job. So there's been significant changes in the industry recently, and it's causing a little bit of havoc, in our lives here. And so, that in itself is enough, especially when you're dealing with financial situations. Sorry, that's my mom calling, which she knows I'm on this live every morning, so I don't know why she's calling. I'll call her back. But um, we we have to make do with the things that we have, and try to keep ourselves motivated and not fall into, this state of depression that we can fall into very, very easily. And we have to also understand, excuse me, we have to also understand that life goes on beyond this, for hopefully for all of us. I mean, I know there are a lot of people who have lost their jobs recently, and not just lost their jobs, but lost their lives. Excuse me, that's really what I wanted to say, lost their lives. And we have to keep things into perspective. So in the grand scheme of things, and I had a friend who recently lost her job, she got laid off, and in the grand scheme of things, I said to her, listen, you have got to concentrate on your health, concentrate on your mental well-being. And I know that finances really do play a big part in our mental health. But you cannot, you have to take care of yourself. You can't let, finances dictate, how you live, as far as, from a mental health perspective. And I had to learn that the hard way myself. And it's very hard. And, losing income is very difficult. It is. But at the end of the day, the bills are going to be there. And, you can recover financially. People do it all the time. They have to start all over, you know. And you can recover from that. But something like, this, your health, y- you lose your health, you lose everything. So just try to keep that into perspective. um Again, I'm, like I said, guys, I'm trying to figure out how to use my little thing here. Okay, so um let's talk about reflection. Okay. um, it's a really good time right now for us to reflect, and we're going to go over some questions, kind of ask yourself, when you're digging deep inside of who you are and where you want to go, and making, some life changes. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, I wrote down the definition of introflexion, okay, which is, if I can read my writing, examining your internal thoughts and reflecting what they mean. And that can be either in your current mental state or your past mental state. So, really, what that is, how our past or our history sort of determines the person that we are today. The world is just such a crazy place, and the hustle and bustle of everything is just, can just steer us in a number of different directions. But and we somewhat lose sight of what makes us who we are. And it's our past, it's our experiences. I think I talked to, everybody about that at one point in time. And so, um I'm sorry, I know I'm just all over the place here. I'm going to have to hold this up so I can keep, looking at it. But that our past sort of shapes our future, and that's, I think, what's really important for us to understand and to know, and to go back to that when we're dealing with certain things in our lives, or to embrace, some of the things that we're dealing with or going through, so that we can come out a better person. Okay, so why is introflexion important? This was something that I read in a magazine, in an article recently. Did you know that we have over 50,000 thoughts per day, and more than half of those thoughts are negative? 50,000 thoughts a day, and more than half are negative. So, what kind of place is that going to put you in? Think about that. All all of the thoughts that we have during the day, and the majority of them are negative. I mean, it's crazy. And 90% of those 50,000 thoughts are repeats from the day before. So, it's this huge cycle. And if we're thinking negatively all the time, then there's a huge cycle, right, of negative thoughts. No wonder people are depressed. So we have to, I thought that was really interesting. And I think that, we have to change how we look at things. And that's why, there's all these books and articles and, writings about positive thinking. Because, good gracious, if that's, from a psychological standpoint, if that's what our brains are truly doing, then yeah, yeah, there is there is a lot of depression involved. Karen, I'm looking to see what you got coming in here. I know you've been talking to me. So, we're walking by faith and not by sight. Yes, we have to. And oh, you like my bamboo folder. It is pretty cool, right? All right, and let's see, we just started the Youth Earn and Learn COVID-19 challenge. Please go to facebook.com, Youth Earn and Learn, Jobs for Kids. So we'll check that out. I'll check that out, and I'll put an announcement on the next live too. Karen, keep me posted on what you guys are doing there, and also let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. Um, if we shift our thinking, we can look upon it as a sabbatical. I'm sorry. If we shift our thinking, we can look upon it as a sabbatical. Yes, okay. Um, was that winter weight? Are you talking about when I was saying I gained 10 pounds? Yeah, I put on 11 pounds, but know that I was winter weight gain. You shed half of it. Well, that's good. No, I don't think mine is winter weight, because it's only been, I was doing really good, and I've been eating like crazy. So I know it's not winter weight. It's just me being a pig. That's really what it is. So, Karen also says, I think it depends on the person. Positive people don't have 50% negative thoughts. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I know for me, I try to be really positive all the time, but I do have an inner voice that keeps trying to creep in negative, you know, thoughts. And, the mind is a powerful thing, so you can overcome, that negativity, but sometimes it can be hard, especially when you're faced with the stuff that we're faced with right now, you know? Um, so let's see. You must put effort. So this kind of goes to what you were saying, Karen. You must put effort into refocusing, okay, your mind on positive thoughts in order, and I can't read my writing here, but in order to grow, okay? So you must put your effort into refocusing your thoughts positively in order to grow. So, Karen, I think that just goes, right to what you were saying. So, I guess according to the article, by nature, our brain always goes to the negative, which may or may not be true. I try to think about just my own perspective. I do tend to think negatively at first, but I do put quite a bit of effort into, changing my thought process and then also trying to reflect that positivity on others. But, sometimes the struggle is real, especially when you're dealing with, you know, things that really sort of put you in a place where you can't it's difficult to come out of. I also wrote down we have to understand ourselves and our motivations to pull away from those negative distractions. And I think that's true. The deeper we know about ourselves and sort of come into have an understanding of what our true selves are, because a lot of times we think on the surface. I know I do, and sometimes I have to dig a little bit deeper beyond the surface. And a lot of people sort of go through life on autopilot, right? And they're just doing the surface thinking. They're not really going beyond that to find out truly what who they are and what they are. And we're going to talk um, because I we're going to continue to talk about reflection, but there's some things that I sort of picked up in an article that I read, and there's some questions that we should ask ourselves in order to really go deeply into reflection. So here's what I wrote down for jumpstarting your reflection. These are some questions that we should ask ourselves. Am I using my time wisely? So, in this pandemic, a lot of us have um, some extra time on our hands. What are we doing with that time? Are we sleeping in? Are we, working on projects, in the house that maybe we didn't have an opportunity to do? Are we finding positive ways to try and earn money, or positive ways to, just really sort of improve ourselves? What are we doing with this extra time? Um, Also, am I taking anything for granted? You know, I think a lot of us through all of this are taking quite a bit, or have in the past taken some things for granted, the smallest things like being able to, you know, get up and go to the grocery store and pick up quote unquote toilet paper. um, just the simplest things in life. I know for me, I need a haircut, and it's ever since I cut my hair, I go to the hair salon every 2 weeks faithfully so that I can keep my hair, you know, together. And I'm dying. My husband had to give me a haircut the other day, and because my person is not working, and she doesn't want to lose her license. So, I'm putting gel and God knows what else product in my hair just to kind of, allow myself to look halfway decent while I'm on these lives. And look at all my gray hair is coming in too. So it's crazy. So what things are we taking for granted? Am I employing am I employing a healthy perspective? Okay. what does that mean? Are we eating healthy? Are we, trying to keep ourselves in a healthy state, whether that be on, I'm sorry, guys, my messages are popping up here. Whether it be eating, uh, just eating more healthy, or, going for a walk, or just working on our mental state, um, am I leaving time to myself? Am I leaving time to myself? Or giving time to myself? Okay. Um, we have plenty of time to be able to do that, right? So take a moment and spend some time with yourself, and learn about yourself. Have an intimate relationship with yourself. I do. Um, am I waking up ready to take on the day? Okay. Are you? I mentioned earlier that, I had been sleeping in a bit until I decided that I was going to get up and take a walk and get my day moving, my energy flowing, whatever I needed to do to kind of just get myself out of this funk that I've been in, and many other people are like that too. Um, okay, so Karen, I see you, I guess, writing, but I can't see what you're saying. So anyway, we have to do that. We have to, give ourselves a jump start in the morning. Am I thinking negative thoughts before I go to sleep? That's a good one. Am I thinking about negative things? You go to bed thinking negatively, you're gonna wake up not in a good place, Or if you're like me, sometimes when I go to bed thinking negatively, I have really bad dreams, dreams of, falling into a black hole. So try to think positive. Pray before you go to sleep at night. Ask God to, you know, impart some wisdom and positive thoughts into your brain. Um, am I putting enough effort into my relationships? That's a good one. Am I putting enough effort into my relationships? Okay, so think about how you're treating people, and who haven't you spoken to in a while that you probably need to pick up the phone and talk to. I'm really bad with making phone calls to people because my schedule, I'm balancing a lot of things in my life. And so a text message, or an email, or an instant message on Facebook. I spend a lot of time on Facebook. Um, those are great ways to communicate with me, but sometimes people need to hear your voice. The only people that I really like talk to on the phone are to my mom, because she doesn't do social media, and she texts a little bit. It's, there's always a dot in between every word when she's texting. And but pick up the phone and call someone and let them hear your voice. One of the things that I love about this live is that people that I have relationships with, if they have a chance to watch it, they can hear my voice. And I talk about things that are going on in my life. I talk about a number of different things, so people can get their fill, I guess, of me on this live. And it's fun for me. um Am I letting matters that are out of my control stress me out? That's a good one. I talked about, losing finances, as a result of this pandemic. There's nothing that we can do about that. Nothing that we can do about it. And other than to try and find other ways to earn income. And even when that's an impossibility, because sometimes it is for some people, just based upon, what your skill sets are, pray. I believe in the power of God. I really do, you know. And, when you're going through tough times, just pray on it, you know. I am there's some decisions that I have to make in my life right now, and I'm not going to go into detail, but um, I'm praying on what I need to do. I'm asking God to sort of give me guidance on um, how do I make this decision, because it's a decision that can affect me, my family, um, and I have to, I'm asking God to kind of tell me what path I need to take. You know, how do I navigate my way through, these thoughts that I'm having, and to make the right decision for myself and my family and my children, and you know, um, and navigate my way through this, pandemic. How do we live through it? And so, um, yeah, we, as far as, matters that are out of my control, you just got to ask God for guidance, and keep it moving. Um, Am I achieving the goals that I set for myself? That's also a good one. Karen says, believe in the power of God. He came to give us life, and life more abundantly. Yes, indeed. Gosh, that's powerful, Karen. Yeah. And I do. I believe in the power of God. I do. I really do. And He has not forsaken me, girl. Oh my goodness. Oh, I got some testimonies, my dear. Yes, I do. Um, but we can't let things stress us out, and then, maybe just praying for peace, um, praying for that thunder and that rattling that's going on in our heads, because of our stress levels, you know, pray that God places His hand on us, and removes the uncertainty, and provides a clear path for us. Because if we just quiet down and just listen, we believe in God and we quiet our brains and just listen, He's going to tell us the way we need to go. And I said I'm not going to preach on this on my live feed here, because not everybody believes what I believe, but um I'm saying it loud and saying it proud that I do love God. I love Jesus, and He has not forsaken me. So I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay, so those are some questions to ask yourself when you're thinking about reflection. Okay, those are questions to ask yourself. All right, here's another thing that I'm going to task you with. So every day, because of my lack of being able to come up with good topics, today I'm just rambling off of what's coming to my mind right now, and I'd like to have somewhat of an organization or sequential flow to these lives, so that I'm not rambling all over the place. But what I thought I would do, because I thought this was pretty interesting, I don't know if you guys um watch or keep a journal. Hey, Karen, I keep seeing you say hi to people. So are there people on here that I can't see? She's saying good morning, Stacy, and she's saying hi, Jan. So I'm saying good morning, Stacy and Jan as well. If you guys are watching. I don't know a Stacy and a Jan, I don't think. But if I do, then good morning to you guys. I know a couple of Stacys, but um I don't know. Anyway, good morning everybody if you're here. Um so all right, so I was saying start a journal, right? If you don't have a journal, this would be an ideal time to start a journal. Okay, and so every day, and I'd like you to do it with me, because this is what I'm going to do, and this is also going to help us with topics and help me to talk about things that might have some relevance because I feel like these last few lives I've just been babbling on. All right, so I wrote down a bunch of things to Good morning, Monica. Good morning. Um, I wrote down different topics. So every day we're going to write in our journal, and I hope you guys will join me with this. And I do hope those of you who do watch start participating so I can see your comments and I can engage with you um, because it's fun to do that. But okay, starting a journal. So today, our first topic in our journal, you are going to write about my favorite way to spend the day. Okay, that is today's topic. We're going to have a topic every single day. Okay, um, and I've got like 100 of them. So for as long as we do this live, this is the way that we're going to go, and that's going to help me to talk about things. Because I'll go into my journal, I'll start writing, and as will you, and then we'll have some things to talk about. So that's where I'm going to end today. I know I was kind of babbling everywhere, and it's just because, well, one, I'm in my living room as opposed to my office, so I feel like I'm not really, um, I don't really have my stuff together. Um, but also because I have so many things in my mind right now, and things that I want to share and speak to, and sometimes I get into the weeds because I'll be talking about one thing and then my brain, it's like uh, some sort of attention deficit, I guess, for lack of a better term. I'm talking about something, and like a dog, and they're looking outside, and all of a sudden they see a squirrel, and their brain just goes, I'm going to catch the squirrel. That's kind of where my brain has gone today. I'm scattered all over the place. Um, you, it looks like a comfy little nook. Yeah, it is. This room that I'm in used to be my formal dining room. Okay. And because our house used to be the house where the family, came for Thanksgiving every single year. We hosted, the biggest Thanksgiving every single year. And as time has gone on, you know, we just, people weren't coming as much. We have our same few family members who come every year, but I mean, I used to throw these huge, massive Thanksgivings. And so I had a really nice formal dining room. And we don't do the big ones anymore. It's mainly just, a few family members come over. So, and I needed a desk in my office. So I took my mahogany uh, big dining room table that seats 8 people, I think, or 12 if you put the leaf in it, and I made that my desk in my office. So we brought it upstairs. So now my dining um, room table is actually my desk, and I've got several printers, and I got all kinds of crap up there. But anyway, so it is a nice little cozy nook. So now it's sort of a sitting room, and there's a TV in here, and the kids use it as a game room sometimes when they have friends over, to play their games, and or my son has a girlfriend, so they, she comes over, they have a nice little spot to kind of just away from the rest of everybody else, so they can kind of have their little bit of privacy. Yes, I repurposed it. So anyway, um getting back again, see, I'm off squirrel. Getting back to where we were, we're going to do a journal every day. Okay. And um, your topic again is my favorite way to spend the day. And so tomorrow, nope, today's Friday. So I'm going to leave you with that. Mull over it over the weekend. Come back on Monday. I'll share with you what I wrote in my journal. You can share with me what you wrote in yours if you choose to. And then that'll be our topic. And then at the end of the live, I'll give you the topic for the next day. Okay. So that being said, thank you, Karen, for joining. Thank you, Monica, for joining. Thank you to whoever else has joined this live that I can't see. Um, and I appreciate you all just tuning in every single day. I apologize for the babbling today. You know, just say what's on my heart sometimes and get into the weeds. So my apologies for that, but everyone have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you on Monday at 8:15. Thanks everybody for joining. I appreciate you. Great weekend. Bye bye now.